All right, good morning, doctors, nurses, students, people of all professions and all ages, all walks of life. And welcome back to the Hippo Cup 9 video gaming OSU live stream presented by NASCAR, because we go fast. We are headed forward into a pretty large block of matches here. We've got, I don't know, like 8 matches. No, it's not 8. It's 5 matches in a row. Yeah, it's 5 matches in a row. Despite the fact that this weekend's actually the slow weekend, because everybody just wanted to reschedule to next week, I guess. But we're starting things off. Group H. Match 6 in that group. It is the 2 bottom seeds facing off, but these are not your normal like low seeds, with the groups having played out the way they did. CATBALL and peepoHappy, both quite strong rosters. CATBALL captained by Flameseer, joined by Pez, RNG, Ethan Tricks, Toki Twilight, Batball, Conrad Mitten, and something called Stupid Dog. I probably checked who this was. I don't remember. Oh, it's Kuromi. Okay. What a username. What a username that is. They'll be facing up against peepoHappy, captained by Pra, joined by Ternafis, Danielino. I feel like I don't remember having to say that name last week. Nuni, Ikigatsu Maru. Boy, these guys are some tongue twisters. Darnix, Kusarat, Hinamon, and Twenity. Twenity? I feel like I have a lisp saying that name. Not my favorite. Twenity. I just feel like I'm saying Trinity, but with a lisp. So, yeah, anyway, Group H definitely on paper looks to be one of the most competitive ones. We won't see a single other match from this group until next Saturday. They were initially scheduled for next week, and they rescheduled this one of the 6 matches to this week. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But we'll see the rest of their matches next week, but this will get us started on that group. Of course, only a few matches so far today, as mentioned. We went from 24 and 24 matches of the 48 to 16 and 32. So if your match has trouble finding a referee, you have only yourselves to blame, because that's just a lot of matches all in one weekend. Yeah. My music stopped. That's very sad. Daniel, no. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get this Ikigatsu Maru. I just have to say that a couple times. Not a player I'm super familiar with personally, but CATBALL the favorites on paper, but we know what happens to this team in group stages in this tournament. Not always the best of luck for these guys, so we'll see if things go better for them this year around, for the couple of them that got group staged last year. As we will enter into our ban phase, looks like it's going to be first and third bans to Team peepoHappy, second and fourth bans to Team CATBALL, with peepoHappy to possess first pick, which is interesting. I feel like the meta for quite some time has always been to opt into second pick. Not every day you see a team willingly choosing first pick, but there we are nonetheless. It is going to be doubling time the 5th as the first ban for peepoHappy. Of course, 2 bans per team. We hit the ground running in this tournament. Big pools, 2 bans per team, best of 9. Like, we're going straight to the max. But DT5 the first ban. That is the short, old DT map. It's a hard diff. It's 41 seconds long. It's 4.63 stars. Like, that says a lot about what they're banning out there. We'll see if we get maybe a couple of the older style maps banned out. Something like what's the other super old one? There's Hard Rock 4 that's an old map. There's Nomad 5 that isn't an old map but feels like an old map. There's DT2, which is an old map but doesn't quite feel as much like an old map. I mean, that's just kind of whatever. But we await the first ban from Team CATBALL here eventually. To our lovely background of down-tempo and lo-fi electronic on Spotify here. Down-tempo, lo-fi electronic, trip-hop, new jazz, road trip, relax, and study. Because these are the vibes that you need for group stages where there's just a lot of matches and a lot of hectic chaos going on, and you need some way to make it through all that. It's going to be Hard Rock 3 first band for CATBALL. So Puppet Theater. The low BPM flow hard rock. Gonna get banned out for the first band from CATBALL. This is always, you know, for those of you who may watch group stages, you know, things kind of pick up as they go on. At this point, you know, there's one group that's played 2 matches. I believe Group C has played 2 matches. All 4 teams have played 1 time. And then, there's been 1 match in Group D, and that's literally all so far. In these early goings in group stage, you just don't have a lot going on yet. You know, as time goes on, you get more matches played. You start to see who's going to be winning in what groups. You start to see what's going to matter in the groups, who needs to do what in order to advance, and who's in danger of getting eliminated. But in the early goings here, there's just not a lot going on yet, right? This is the first and only match of this group to happen this week. It's just kind of chilling. And, you know, as I said, we only have 16 of the 48 matches this week. I'm really tempted to run a poll because this happens every year, but it always makes me wonder. It's like, we just make life easier. But hey, Hard Rock 2 second ban for peepoHappy. So that's a completely different style of map than their first ban of the DT5. That is, how do you describe that one? Kind of a swing rhythm, flowy tech hard rock pick. Also a banger. I'm very sad to see that song get banned as much as the map itself. That is a super cool song style. Kind of flamenco guitar thing going on. Not the sort of thing you see in map pools every day. Or hear in map pools every day, I guess, would be more accurate. But unfortunately, it is not to be. And the last band to Team CATBALL. What other kinds of... Like, you've got bat ball, you've got cat ball. If it's over there, it's dat ball. If it's heavy, it's fat ball. If it goes on your head, it's hat ball. If it's using a pull-down machine, it's lat ball. If it's on the floor, it's mat ball. I mean, we could just keep going, right? There's a lot of options here. DT2 does end up getting banned, by the way. So I kind of predicted that, but not really. It is banned by CATBALL instead of by peepoHappy, who banned the DT5. It's gonna be CATBALL banning the DT2. Yamanobori Kibun, which is kind of a light tapping, but there's a little bit of awkward finger control in it. There's some doubles and stuff going on, so just that slight element of this is kind of weird in that one. And it's going to be first pick, finally, to Team peepoHappy. Anybody else feel like matches in this tournament take a really long time to get started? Even with no warm-ups, it's going to be nearly 15 minutes after match time before we actually start our first map. I feel like that just happens in this tournament a lot. And I don't entirely know why. Maybe that's just normal. I don't know. There's only so many tournaments that I'm involved in or pay attention to. But it feels like the time from match time to match start is extremely long in Hippo Cup. Oh, and the Hand command is so far away because this is the last match in the entire list. Holy cow, you guys. I had to go so far to find that. There's 48 matches worth of tabs on the ref sheet, which is a lot of side scrolling. All right, we have our first pick in. Okay, let's do this. No, I don't want to adjust that volume. No, I really, Osu is so stupid. Okay. I'm gonna need chat to let me know how the game volume is because it's been a year since I last streamed an Osu match, so I have no idea how this sounds. I'm hoping for the best. We're first picking Nomad 1. That's the TV size aim map. Relive. Go fiery rage. Just jumps, man. It's TV size aim Nomad 1. We're absolutely gaming. Shoutouts to this pool for having a lot of really short songs, by the way. I think, and I don't say that solely because, you know, everybody knows my opinion on short versus long maps, but I also think that for group stages especially, I think it's really nice to have the pool be a little bit shorter just because you're playing 3 matches on it, guaranteed. And oftentimes, you know, you're maybe like cramming stuff in back to back or within, you know, like 2-hour windows or whatever. And so I think having the pools be a little bit shorter helps in those ways where it just takes a little bit of the, you know, extensive duration out of a match. So we have in for this one RNG, Pez, Toki, Twilight, Turnafis, Darnix, Pra, and Danielino. Danielino? See, it would be Danielino if it was N-I-E-L, but it's N-I-A-L. So... Danielino? I'm not sure. Anyway, these will be your rosters for map number 1. We'll see who comes in for the 2 hiddens per team, of course. And we'll get this match underway here. As the GLHFs come out, we will enter our first map of the Giga Block, the Mega Block, the Omega Block, the long block of the day. It's going to be hidden on... I'm going to guess that's Toki, and it didn't load. It is. So we've hidden on Toki and Twilight, as well as Danielino and on Turnafis. No mods on the others. And that is an early break from Toki, I think, right at the start. Maybe? No. Maybe? Yes. Well, anyway. It's TV size, it's aim. You already know what's coming, right? It's just jumps, man. 6.5-ish stars. We're just having a good old time with it. Name of the game here, I think, is to just FC, right? Because group stages pools aren't super hard. You can't really afford to miss too many times, especially not, you know, 1/3 to halfway through, as Danielino just did there at the just shy of 200 combo mark. Darnix also broke in the first 60 combo or so. Still 4-way FC on CATBALL, taking themselves a little bit of lead here in the early goings. Into the Ki without a break, and they take a million score lead into the last third of this short first pick here. But it's just going to matter about what happens when you get to the jumps. AKA right after this pattern. Here we go. Back and forth. It's Pra to fall. Twilight, Toki, Danielino all to go down, but RNG, Pez make it through. The aimers of the day. Turnafis holds as well, but already the lead was established for CATBALL. A couple breaks at the end was not going to hurt them, and that is going to open things up with a double FC on RNG and Pez for the breakpoint CATBALL 1-0 lead. 1-100 for RNG, 3-100s for Pez and Ternafis, the one hidden FC in the lobby. One break for Darnix. That is a reverse choke, bit unfortunate, but with the breaks from Danielino and Pra, that was kind of unwinnable. Danielino not having, unfortunately, quite the greatest time there. And 1-0 goes the score. Team CATBALL into their own pick as they look to consolidate. The conversion round coming up, it's going to be just the pistols for peepoHappy. CATBALL, we'll see what they buy. Do you put in Pez? Would Pez be like your opper, do you think? Or is Pez like... No, Pez would be like your entry, right? Where's my music, by the way? There it is. First pick. Plenty of choices here for Team CATBALL. They can go anywhere, man. You win on your opponent's first pick on aim. I mean, you could just go Hard Rock 1 and just kind of double down on aim. Not a whole ton of aim in this pool, really. Free mod 2 and 4. If you wanted to stay in kind of the aim or aim adjacent skill sets would be options as well. Not a whole lot of aim in the DT pool. So we'll see what it is. It's gonna be Nomad 5. Let's go. It's Fly. It is Fly. CS5 AR8. Old-fashioned linear patterning. Inspired by some classic mappers like MTMCL, Lesja, and Starrod Kirby. I believe this has been used as a DT pick in the past in other tournaments, but here we are using it in Nomad. Well, hidden Nomad, I guess. You know how it works in this tournament. So you're going to have a couple of reading players in for this per team. And I mean, you know, it's 5-star CS5 Air. You kind of know what you're getting yourself into. Should be a fun one, though. I was excited to see these kind of classic style maps. Mapped by Aranel, who has a 2017 join date, which says a lot about the styling of this map. You know, 6 years older than the mapper's account. That's the word I'm looking for. So we just are waiting for one more player. RNG, Stupid Dog, Twilight, Ethan, Pra Darnix, Danielino, and 1 TBD for peepoHappy. Nope, 2 TBD. Ternafis coming in. And Qstronaut. The GOAT himself, straight out of Singapore. That is a cool badge that Qstronaut has, by the way, from Wonderful Every Draft? What an odd tournament name. Like, they have a cool badge, but that's an odd tournament name. I like the little designs on the left and right sides. Also, Qstronaut needs to D-rank 1 rank. He just needs to, or decay 1 rank. As away we go, map number 2, CATBALL looking to convert, to consolidate on that break point. It's going to be Hiddens on Stupid Dog and Ethan Tricks to match Ternafis and Qstronaut on the other side. Pretty comfortable break point on map 1 for CATBALL. See if they can follow it up appropriately, or if peepoHappy can maybe take that back on a completely different style of map here. This does strike me as a map that a team like CATBALL would like. The early break there from Ternafis, right in the first 20 combo or so, not going to be all that decisive. There's something so satisfying about that little aim back and forth pattern to the Like, I don't know. It's just very satisfying. So far, no meaningful breaks. This little spaced burst not catching out anybody. Run it all the way back to 2011, but these players are prepared for 2026 with these full combos still alive. Just about a third of the way through at the break. Couple hundreds all to speak of for CATBALL. The one slider break right at the start on peepoHappy on Ternafis, but look at that score gap, man. It's only 130k, just nothing meaningful. And some more act drops, though, for Ternafis and Qstronaut. Qstronaut down at 96, not what you want to see when you're in an act battle against a team that has multiple players with only one 100. There goes Qstronaut. That's going to be the first meaningful drop of anyone right at the halfway mark, too. Score V1, score V2, doesn't matter what scoring mode you're playing. If you miss halfway through, you're gonna have a bad time. And that's CATBALL to take the advantage and run with it. Oh, it's a big break from Stupid Dog. I take it back. The full burst miss. It's 3 FCs against 3, but that does kind of open the door just a little bit for peepoHappy if CATBALL finds breaks on other players. Fortunately for the American side, Qstronaut pretty far behind. That's still 800k score gap. RNG with the little arrow over. Yeah. We saw it. Don't worry. We saw it. Don't think we didn't. Double FC still on Prod Darnix. Triple FC on RNG Twilight Ethan Tricks. And that might just be all that CATBALL need as they try to bring this one on home. Coming down to the last one. Once it's another break from Qstronaut, it's gonna be winding this one down. Signed, sealed, and delivered for CATBALL. Even with that late break from Twilight, shouldn't make a difference. Score's gonna be close, but okay, there's the break from Pra. That might have gotten a little scary in the last little bit of combo here without that break from Pra. But unfortunately for peepoHappy, just not quite able to do what they needed in the end. And CATBALL escape with the consolidated break point, the 2-0 lead, and they are off and running in this match. Just need 3 more points, their own picks to go to close it out. Man, Pra could have done something interesting there at the end, but I still don't think it would have been quite enough. Looking at the scores on the FCs, he would have only made up 500k more of that gap, which ended up at 932,000 score in favor of CATBALL. So don't feel too bad, Pra. It would not have mattered anyway. I don't know if that really makes you feel any better to hear, but it probably doesn't make you feel worse, at least, and that's what we're here for. We're not trying to make people feel worse about their misses than they need to. Next pick to come from Team peepoHappy. They went into the Nomad 1 with their first pick. It backfired against them, as a TV size aim pick will do. You miss once or twice, and the map just is over like that. We'll see where they go with the second pick, if they do something maybe a little different. Nope, it's going to be Nomad 2, so it feels like they're just kind of, their first 2 picks are just, I mean, obviously going down the list, but they're kind of more of the plain maps in the pool, right? Nomad 1, a very, very basic TV size aim map, and Nomad 2, a low BPM, yes, but still kind of just a stream map, right? I mean, it's only 175 BPM, but it's really just flowy streams. It's pretty straightforward in that regard. You know, in contrast to the Nomad 5 first pick from CATBALL that was that low AR smaller circle map. And this one, just a little more normal for you. So if you're maybe missing players, or if you have players who aren't as comfortable with the gimmicky stuff in the pool, this gives you an alternative approach to the match. You already start to get kind of into the must-win territory when it's only a best of 9 after you drop a break point and a consolidation. You know, you're coming out in that third round, the 0-2 round, with the momentum on the other side, and knowing that if you give them up another break point, you're giving your opponents a golden opportunity for a 4-0 lead, at which juncture they will have match points the rest of the way through. So this starts to be uncomfortable territory very quickly if you lose this map as well. So for peepoHappy's sake, you gotta hope that they're able to lock in some more full combos, because that's really what you need on a group stage pool like this one. It just is not that difficult. You need FCs and you need bundles of them if you want to have a chance in these matchups. When you're seeing 2-3 FCs on the other side on most picks, you need to be able to match it, and you know, you can't afford to give much up. You saw on the last map, you know, it's 1 or 2 misses, it's 900k, but that's all it takes. Same thing happened on map number 1. You get a couple misses on those aim patterns in the Nomad 1, and all of a sudden the map's just over. Let's see what peepoHappy can do here on their second pick of this match. It's going to be the Hidden on Ternafis and Danielino, Darnix and Ikigatsumaru on the Nomads, Hidden on Toki and Ethan Tricks, Flamesteer Pez on the Nomads. CATBALL will attempt to obtain their second break point, whereas peepoHappy will look to put a map on the board for themselves. This one, relatively modern style, as mentioned. Pretty comfy flow aim. I suppose this part's weird to me, like the buzz sliders go out and then come back despite the song staying the same. That struck me as a little odd in terms of mapping decisions, but hey, it is what it is. It's fine. No breaks early on this time, which is good for both sides. The comfort level remains high. The skill level remains where they need it to. And let's see who will be the first to blink. It's Toki falling on the stream. Halfway through. You know what that does. Advantage peepoHappy, 4 FCs to 3. We'll see if they can't convert this one with that advantage halfway through. Lead million score. Still, map does get a bit harder, I would say, in the back third. Got to keep your wits about you. Got to stay locked in, and Danielino does not manage to do so. And Toki has built back up. Ikigatsumaru is going to be the next to break, and that is disaster for peepoHappy, as they're down to 2 FCs just like that. Ternafis and Darnix are going to do everything they can. Ethan Tricks to fall, but it's Pez and Flamesteer holding. Ternafis is gone, and Toki has built back up. Double FC, big backing score, just the 1 FC on Darnix. As mentioned, gets a little harder in the back half, doesn't it? This one gets tricky. It's Darnix. Will he do it? He does. Oh, you hate to see that. The SS coming out from Darnix in a losing effort. That is painful to witness. Oh, that's rough, buddy. I am so sorry. It is the SS for Darnix, but it is the map win for CATBALL, which is what matters more, with the full combos on Flamesteer and on Pez. The solid backing score from Ethan Tricks, and Toki on the recovery when they needed him to have the combo in the last portion of the map. He was there. Unfortunately, peepoHappy, just Danielino and Ikigatsumaru not able to pull out the scores that the team needed. Ternafis a little bit behind as well. Darnix, the sterling effort. Nary a 100 hit to his name. But unfortunately, it was all for naught. And that means CATBALL grasp their second break point, their third point of the match. And they truly are off to the races in this one. 3-0 with their own pick, as they look to consolidate a double break point advantage. And so many choices for them here. I think they should pick DT4. I don't think they're going to, but I want them to. Maybe it's a free mod 1 angle. Oh, it's a DT1. Okay. I'm here for it. I'm here for the DT1. It's lookbook. Digital Hypno, of course, pooling this, his own rank 1 score on this map. The HD DTSS. Pretty banger. How do you even describe this? It's like light tech DT, right? At 10.2. This feels like such an insufficient description of the map, but I guess it's probably kind of accurate. She knows you're checking her out, chat. You might want to be careful about that sort of thing. Usually you don't want to make it quite so obvious. Anyway, yeah, a couple little, like, slight tech elements to this. The little awkward rhythm slider patterns on the look in the chorus. But, you know, you can kind of see the differences between these two teams pretty quickly, right? 4 maps in, you know, it's been 2 very straightforward maps selected by peepoHappy, and 2 slightly less straightforward maps picked by CATBALL. See if the second of those 2 works out as well for CATBALL as the first did. They looked pretty good on Fly. We'll see if they look pretty good on Lookbook as well. You know, as we said, success on this map means 4-0, means match points the rest of the way through. You know, the thing with group stage, right? Point differential can actually matter. You know, this is a very strong group with 4 very solid teams, and CATBALL is the C seed, as it were, in the group, right? So, you know, taking advantage of the matchup against the one team that's a lower seed than they are, you know, with like a 5-0 result could be valuable. You never know later on in group stage when the other matches start to get played. So you really do need to keep the pedal down if you want to make the most of the matchups that are perhaps more in your favor. Feel like we should be getting going here. I don't know. peepoHappy a little bit disorganized, perhaps. Gotta get people in. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of like I'm gonna agree with the ref here. They are stalling every timer. And all right, you can say what you want about me for saying this, but when you're losing, you know, 3-0 and at risk of getting swept, it's not a great look to be stalling timers, right? Like, I get stalling timers in a super close, super competitive, like, oh, it's 4-3, it's our last pick, you know, or something along those lines. But I feel like it's a slightly worse look when you're maybe getting swept. But that is just one opinion, and so in we go to Lookbook. It's Twilight, Toki, Pez, Ethan, Pra, Ternafis, Danielino, and Hinaman for the first time in, I believe, for peepoHappy. Somebody can correct me on that if I am mistaken. I think this is his first map. Really need to find a breakpoint if you are peepoHappy here. As mentioned, that 4-0 mountain in front of you looms large if you are to drop this pick. Little shakes there from Danielino. See if he can hold on. No breaks as of yet from anybody. It's Toki and Danielino to trade on the burst. 3 FCs against 3. So no real damage done. I mean, you look at that score, it's basically still dead even. Here we go into this slightly awkward section. Some spaced little bursts, some tough little slider patterns, as well as Twilight to fall. And that gives the lead over to peepoHappy. We saw what happened on the last map when they had a lead, though, so hopefully they do not crumble in the face of such adversity as they did previously as we go into the last quarter of the map. It's a triple FC. No, make that double FC. Ternafis falls. Danielino falls. It's Hinamon and Pra holding on as best they can, but you've got the double FC matching on Pez and Ethan. Toki and Twilight building the combo back up should be enough to bring the score back over. Not a whole lot left to the map. And the score lead flips, and it's going to be heartbreak again for peepoHappy, much like the last pick if this continues on as it is currently. Double FC against double FC. Down goes Ternafis. Man, oh man. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, obviously, at that stage, but you just hate to see it for peepoHappy. 2 maps in a row. Had the advantage at the 2/3 mark. Nearly had the advantage at the 3/4 mark or so, but just those late breaks, and they mean victory for CATBALL snatched away. Even with the double FC on Pra and Hinamon, Ternafis and Danielino just a bit behind where they would have needed to be. And that is 4-0 CATBALL. That is 2 consolidated break points. And that is match points for however much of this match there may still be to play for CATBALL. But peepoHappy does have at least 1 pick remaining. This one here. They went Nomad 1, then they went Nomad 2. Are they just going down the list? Are they going to go Nomad 3 next? Or are they trying to find the more plain maps? In which case, maybe something like the Fremod 3 or Hard Rock 1 could be options. If that's kind of more the approach, is you're just looking for the basic stuff in the pool, which kind of is what we talked about before the last pick. Chat type 1 for Fremod 3. Nobody's going to type 1 because there's nobody in chat. But that's okay. Oh my... Yo! 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 We did it! Oh, we did it, chat! Oh, man. You already know, right? I mean, it's Yoto Givanashi. It's baby's first speed because, you know, this is group stage pool. It's like, you know, mid-low 6-star average. It's a 6.2 star, 240 BPM. It's just it's light tapping. It's simple tapping. It's basic tapping. All right, in we go for what may be the last map of this match. It's 4-0 CATBALL. It's Toki Flames tier, Ethan Trix, and Pez CATBALL. Taking on peepoHappy's Daniel Lino, Ternafas, Ikigatsumaru, and Darnix. Darnix dropped the SS a couple maps ago on that Nomad 2, so we'll see if he can pull out at least another FC. Will not be an SS as he's already dropped a couple hundreds in the intro, but obviously not going to matter. And this is a lot of mods. This is a lot of mods, by the way, you guys. You can see what we got there for the mods. This is way more mods than you need, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. Group stage pre-mod pool choices can be a little wacky at times. And if you... Oh, my Flames tier! No! Just missed the last note of that burst before the little mini break, and it's advantage peepoHappy. Maybe this will be the time that they can actually take hold of a map win when they've had a lead. They've given it up both times. Maybe third time's the charm. And if third time isn't the charm, then 3 strikes and you're out. So one way or the other, it's gonna be a narrative story to tell here. No breaks, a 4-way full combo for them so far. Last quarter to come, though. No breaks. No breaks. They might be safe. They might be safe unless they find multiple misses in the last moments. The dying days of this map are going to be upon us. And it's peepoHappy still with the 4-way full combo. And there goes Flames Fury again. That should just do it. They're going to get on the board and avoid the sweep. peepoHappy are gonna be a little bit more happy after that one. It's a 4-way FC for the lower seeded team to get themselves on the board to put a point up to avoid the sweep. Is this the start of something special? Maybe, just maybe, they've got a long road ahead of them. There's miles and miles to go before they sleep, but they have promises to keep. And perhaps, just perhaps, they'll be able to do that. 4-way FC is a place to start. If you're going to win a point, that's a heck of a way to do it. And I mean, CATBALL, it's a triple FC, right? It was a triple FC. But Flames tier, just the 2 breaks. And that was what mattered. As it will go next to CATBALL for the pick. Still several opportunities to close out this match. 3 more maps, including 2 of their own picks before even thinking about a tiebreaker, which we have already had one of today. That match was back and forth the whole way through, though. It wasn't a reverse sweep or anything. You know, CATBALL has gone a couple of awkward types of maps in the pool. They went Nomad 5 DT1. You know, maybe something like a Nomad 3 or 4 is a choice here. Nomad 6 would be cool, and we'd also get to find out if my client is set up properly. The storyboard map, of course, Nomad 6. I mean, Fremod 1. There's plenty of choices for what they've kind of appeared to like out of this pool so far. Nomad 3 would be kind of a banger pick here. Chat! I share a brain cell, I guess. I don't know. Night Theater Etude, mapped by Mir. One of our couple of Mir picks in this Nomad pool. 155 BPM cut stream alt map. And like, just a nice song. This one's cool. I don't know, I'm a fan. I am an enjoyer. So let's see what happens as we wait for the players to load in here. I'm gonna do just a little bit of actual word. So Pez Twilight, Stupid Dog, Ethan Tricks, Hinamon Ternafis, Ikigatsu Maru, Darnix. What have we not seen? We haven't seen Conrad Mitten. We haven't seen Batball. We haven't seen Noonie. We haven't seen Twenity. Let's see if we get any more of the as yet unfeatured players. Looks like we're not. And away we go. It's going to be the Hiddens on Stupid Dog, Ethan Tricks, Ternafis, Ikigatsu Maru, Pez Twilight, Hinamon, Darnix on the Nomads. peepoHappy have escaped one match point. Can they escape at least one more? Give themselves their last pick of the match to try to get some more points in. See how this one goes. Early break from Stupid Dog, early break from Ikigatsu Maru. Excuse me. I kind of feel like this is almost... Can you make a claim for this as one of the harder maps in the pool? I feel like, or at least harder to be consistent on, perhaps. Some of the wiggles and the breaks and the cuts in these alt patterns can be pretty tricky. You see chain misses coming in. Ikigatsu Maru, Ternafis, Pez. It struggles left, right, and center. Like, if you miss one circle, you're just gonna miss an entire pattern, especially on Hidden. Quite challenging. As you see, Ikigatsu Maru and Ternafis just chain missing because that's what happens on Hidden. When you miss, you can't get back on the patterns. And it's Twilight and Ethan Tricks with Stupid Dog on the recovery to push this lead out to a couple million score for CATBALL. And this is looking like it's a pretty solid pick for them. And yeah, just the challenge of Hidden on this one, proving a bit much for peepoHappy. Darnix, Hinamon on the Nomad FCs, but the Hidden players really looking much the worse for wear, unfortunately, and struggling time and time again to build up and sustain combo. 94 and 92 act, thanks to their many misses each. And it looks like we're not going to be seeing any sort of great, grandiose, gargantuan comeback here for peepoHappy in this match, as this is a 6 million score lead. The one truly dominant scoreline that we look to see this match is going to be on the closer, as CATBALL finish things off in style. Will they bring home the double FC on Twilight and Ethan Tricks to match the double FC on Hinamon and Darnix? They do. 2 FCs per team, but Pez and Stupid Dog far outperforming Ternafis and Ikigatsu Maru on the map. 5-1 the final score. CATBALL 1-0 in the group. peepoHappy 0-1 here in Group H. And that's just kind of how it goes, unfortunately. It's what happens. You got a team that's very good at gimmicky maps and also solid at mechanics and more straightforward picks against a team that struggles a bit on the gimmick in a pool with plenty of those gimmick maps. Well, higher seed ends up having a pretty clean scoreline. Several close maps, especially with how short things like the Nomad 1 and Nomad 2 were. You're never going to have gigantic gaps between the teams. But CATBALL did what they needed to, job done for them, as they will look forward to next week and their other 2 matches, starting things off on the right foot, unlike peepoHappy, who are going to be looking to next week with an 0-1 record. That is going to be it for these guys. 5-1 final score. Well done to CATBALL. Commiserations to peepoHappy. And we now have just a few minutes before our next match starts up. It's going to be, I don't know how you pronounce this word. It's anglicized as Hemhoro. Somebody can tell me what that's supposed to actually say in the original Russian, because my ability to, parse out what Cyrillic as, Latin characters is not very good. Anyway, that team is going to be taking on Quit School. It's Group A action, one of the other incredibly competitive groups. So you are not going to want to miss that match. It's going to be coming up in about 8 minutes. We're going to have a little break. We'll leave the stream up, and you guys can hang out, listen to some music, and we will be back right after this break as the first day of Hippo Cup 9 group stage rolls onward.